August is Women's Month, and we at the station are showcasing powerful and resilient women. These are people who have gone through incredible trauma or change in their life, and they have come back better and stronger. This is Beautiful Make. Ursula T is a photographer and an author and an all-round amazing woman. She came back from a double stroke, taught herself to walk and talk and film again, and is now running a thriving business on making other women feel beautiful. This is her story. I first met you on a recommendation from a friend who said, you've got to go see this chick. She's amazing.
Right.
So I duly phoned this chick and said, I would love to come and chat to you. I've heard about your story. And what I'd heard was there was this originally very large and in charge wedding photographer who people could hear coming from another continent, who had it all at her feet.
This has to be me, right?
Only for you. Had it all at her feet, moved into her new place, and fell down on the floor and never got up the same way again. So I came to your house, and you did an amazing shoot with me, and all my Facebook pictures are because of you, and I tell everybody how amazing you are, because never ever have I had a photograph that has done me justice the way I've wanted to look, like you took a photograph. And you did it all with one hand on a wheelie chair and natural light.
Not bad, eh?
Pretty damn good.
They tell me out there I'm okay, you know?
Oh, you'll
I'm okay.
You pass.
Yeah, I'll pass.
But jokes aside, thank you very much for coming to chat.
Thank you, Sam.
And tell me how we went from being large and in charge to lying on the floor. What happened?
The actual incident, so I had 2 severe strokes. One on the right-hand side of my brain, which was severe. But the second stroke was on my brain stem cell, which should have killed me. And well, here I am. It did not. It's left me a little bit challenged, but I'm here.
What was your life like before the strokes?
I was married, I had my own beauty spa. I was into fitness, trained twice a day, dancing, out there, I suppose.
Being a wedding photographer?
Wedding photographer.
Hard on your feet?
All day, all night. And then we had a little bit of a problem.
So I remember you telling me you were moving into your new place, and it happened on moving day. What do you remember about it?
The day that I had my strokes, I was moving out from my ex-husband.
That's right.
And it was a traumatic day. I mean, just getting divorced, being separated is already traumatic. And I was moving in, carrying boxes, TVs, hanging up curtains. I mean, it's just not a nice thing anyway. And I literally just felt tired. So I thought, I don't have to unpack my whole house. Like tonight, I can just sit down, chill, and I can carry on tomorrow. So I did. I sat down, lit up a cigarette, had a glass of wine, and I stood up. And as I stood up, I just collapsed. And all it felt like is that I just fainted.
Okay.
But my brain was working the whole time, which is like really weird. Like I knew what was going on. I knew I was dying, let me put it that way. And my body shut down from neck down. And I was lying there thinking, oh my God, I'm dying, I need help.
Okay.
This is the end, right? And then I thought, I've got too much to live for. Like way too much to live for. Beside my daughter, like lots of other things to go through.
How old was she at the time?
She was 6. Still a baba. And my right side woke up.
Okay.
Just like that. Like in the next, I don't know, it could have been an hour, it could have been 10 minutes. And thank God, because I am right-handed.
That's lucky, because I'm not.
My stroke of good luck, right? Now you know where my title comes from. So that's how it happened.
So what did you do when your right hand woke up and you knew you needed to get help?
I thought if I don't get to my cell phone, which is lying miles away from me on the patio where I collapsed, I'm going to die. So I did. I crawled with my right hand until my nails were bleeding and off until I got to my phone. And my brain was working the whole time. It was like, and I knew something was horribly wrong. I pressed redial on my phone and I called an old client. I said, Chantal, please come and help me. I'm dying.
And did she spring into action? Because that is a hectic call to get.
No, she did. And she said to me, well, give me your address. Now, I couldn't, it was a new townhouse that same day. I could give her exact directions, but I did not know the number of the units. I could tell exactly how to find me, but no other details. And she found me. She climbed over my garden wall,
Wow.
came and found me, and off I went to emergency.
So what happened there?
Bit of a crazy day, hey?
I'd say. Bet you didn't even get to finish your cigarette.
Or my glass of wine.
Or your glass of wine.
So, got to hospital, and the doctor looked at me and he says, you're having a stroke. I remember looking at him saying, get the F-bomb out of town. Okay. I am way too young for this.
How old were you?
39.
Okay.
Kind
What
of
was
young.
happening?
Kind of young, hey?
That is young.
So from his last statement, next minute I was had like hooked up to machines, and now it was getting real, right? And that was it. That was it, you know.
But that was
Just
it.
another day, you
Yeah.
know.
How long were you in hospital?
3 weeks in ICU and 8 months in rehabilitation.
And what happened over those 11 months? Because you couldn't work. You couldn't look after yourself.
I lost my business.
Okay.
I got divorced. And he didn't divorce me in hospital on purpose. Okay, we were separated already, but it was just hectic time. And all it did was focus on me not giving up, if that makes sense. So my first day in rehabilitation, doctor says to me, you will never sit again, you will never stand again, and you will never walk again.
That's comforting.
No, it was amazing. So I felt so encouraged.
I'm
right?
sure you are.
So I took one look at him and I said, you know what? You are wrong. I am going to walk out of this hospital. I don't care if it's with a stick or however I get out of here, I'm going to walk. He said, I'll wait for you at the door. So that initial challenge of you will never was me. Screw that, right? I'm going to sit up. I'm going to do my thing.
What support did you have? Family, friends?
Family, mom, my brother, who came to see me almost every night. My mom was fantastic in hospital, like lots of treats and stuff. I had lots of friends coming to see me, but it's almost like you lose people along that path, if that makes sense. But my mommy was there, and my brother,
Yeah.
and
your baba?
and my baba. Difficult for her, and she was so sweet. So she was small, and we had to tell her what was going on. Well, I insisted, because like, where's mom now for all these months? And then she gave me a phone call in the hospital. She's like, hey, mum. I'm like, hello, my darling. She says, I've got something very important to ask you. I said, what is it, my babe? She says, are you still walking like a dork? Right?
I know it's child shoes.
So I said to her, I am, my darling, but guess what? I'm walking much faster. She says, super proud, bye. So that was the conversation with her done. Every time she came to see me in hospital, she'd start singing to me down the passage. Don't worry. Can't sing, but you know the song? And then I'd wake up and I knew it was her. And as she'd walk into the room, this beautiful bright ball of light, she would say to me, Mom, can I take you for a spin? Call the nurses, get into my wheelchair, and she'd push me as fast as she can down the passageway, like crash me into walls and stuff, you know, but she had a jaw, so did I.
So what was rehab like? Because you'd always been a very alive, energetic person. We've got beautiful pictures of you dancing. You were always very active. And now you had to train parts of your body that had kind of gone on early retirement, that's not what was going to stay happening. That case wasn't going to continue.
It was devastating. So imagine being completely independent to asking someone to brush your teeth and wipe your bum. Let's put it that way. That's as harsh as it is. Couldn't get dressed. Wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning with an injection in your belly button. It's a fantastic way to start your day, right? Blood pressure machines, you know, just a normal like injection in the belly. That's how my day started. Off to the showers. Somebody dresses you, takes you to the toilet. It's no independence at all. I learned to walk with my stick very quickly.
How quickly?
Not quick enough to get to the loo on time, but
How long until you walked out of the hospital on your stick? Did you walk out of the hospital?
I did. 8 months. So I was in rehab for 8 months. Rehab.
Yeah.
Devastating. In that time, I also lost my business, which was my dream, and I put my whole heart and soul in there. So the whole experience was devastating. But I'm here, Sam.
Yes, you are.
I'm here with Samantha Cowan,
Hey, I'm here
sitting
with
on
Ursula
your
too.
couch.
What? When you went home, what happened then? What was it like to go home? Because as you say, in the hospital, you're being bathed and dressed and showered. And now you've got to go home. And you can't go to your own home.
No,
But
because
you
I
can't
didn't
look
have
after
one,
yourself.
right? I moved in with a friend of mine. I will keep his name anonymous. But he was fantastic, and the place was small enough for me just to learn to get around on my own. And I learned just to become very independent, but it was scary.
Yeah. What's the scariest thing when you're learning that and you don't have your balance?
I think it's the fear of falling
Okay.
and hurting myself and not being able to get back up.
Did that ever happen?
It's happened once. Now, it's funny now that no, I promise you it's hilarious. So I decided I'm going to clean out my kitchen cupboard. Now, this is recently. I'm talking like maybe 6 months ago. I'm going to clean out my kitchen cupboard. So I did. I got down on the floor, easy enough, cleaned it out beautifully, and sat there and thought, well, now, how do I get back up? I was there for 2 hours, Sam. My phone was on my desk, like miles away. Anyway, eventually I figured it out. I had to scrape along my bum and pull myself up on my kitchen security gate, right? And I can just imagine my neighbours looking at me thinking, wow. Anyway, I got up. But it's more like, how do you handle it? And your left side's paralysed. There's like no real sense of balance. So everybody always says, how does it feel? If you stand up and close your eyes and lift up one leg, that's exactly how the sensation feels.
All the time.
It's almost impossible to deal with that off balance. But now look at me styling,
I know, right?
right?
When were you well enough to be on your own again? To actually look after yourself, be in your own place? How long did that take?
Okay, so 3 years after my strokes,
Okay.
after not having my own place, I met Andrew, moved in with him. I was pretty independent there. We went through a rough time, and then I thought I'm getting my own place. And now it's time for me to be a big girl, a big independent woman, right? So that's probably about 4 years.
4 years into new life, Ursula T, you had come out of rehab, you'd walked out of that hospital, having said that
I did.
having the doctor having
Imagine
said it
that.
was never going to happen. You had managed to become self-sufficient, but business-wise, there was still a hole. And now you're in a business you love. So how did that happen? What did you decide to do?
Okay, so in my 4 years after my strokes, I allowed myself to wallow and to grieve and to be angry and, go through all of that. And I had a mentor come and see me and said, what are you doing with your life? Hello, I'm here in my PJs, like pretty much this. Why? And he said, Ursula, as a photographer, you've got more talent in your pinky than I've seen all the photographers in South Africa combined. Pick up your camera and do something.
Wow.
That was his visit, and it was literally that short, okay, and he walked out. And then I sat there in my pajamas,
Yes.
and I thought, I do have a camera, right? Surely I can use my right hand and just give it a go. So I practiced for about a year,
Yeah.
keeping my balance, you must know, holding my camera,
Yeah.
and I thought, I'm going to do this. And then I was thinking to myself, sitting in my pajamas, okay,
Yes.
not feeling pretty.
Hopefully not the same pair as at the beginning of the year.
No, I change them every now and
Okay.
then, kind of like wash them once a week, But I was sitting there, I was thinking, wow, surely this is not who you are. Come on. So I practiced with my camera. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror one day, and I was so much thinner than I am now. And I don't like talking about weight and stuff because it's not who I am. But I was looking at myself in the mirror and I thought, wow, okay, you're not looking cool, hey? Like, you need to do something with yourself and just do this. So I wasn't feeling beautiful, let me put it that way. And then I was thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? I need to feel beautiful. I've got a camera. Surely I can help women feel beautiful. Okay, how am I going to do that? I'm going to photograph them. I'm going to photograph them beautifully. And I'm going to help them feel beautiful. And here I am.
Love that in your own mirror image, what you saw was helping somebody else. I love that you saw that.
I really did. And now I look at myself, I'm like, wow. You know, if I could whistle at myself, I would, because I'm feeling incredible. I'm feeling so beautiful at the moment. And I think the more I help women feel beautiful, the more I do. Does that make sense? And now I know what my purpose is after my strokes. Why did I actually survive these 2 severe strokes that I should not have? I have a purpose. I'm going to help women. And I'm going to help them feel beautiful. And that's my business.
What did you do to feel beautiful? Because you know we're going to get onto your eyeliner.
I first of all got out of the pajamas.
Nice.
I mean, you know.
Eventually.
Although I do have pajama days now still.
It's a pajama day, not a pajama life.
And I practice self-love in the mirror. Let's go back to the mirror. Every morning, even if I had to wake up and remember that I couldn't walk, not like myself for a minute, like you do, walk along, get to the mirror, I'd look at myself and say, you are beautiful. You are talented. You've got this. Look how far you've come.
That's amazing. All I do is look in the mirror and go, I'm awake.
So I did a lot of self-talk in the mirror, and it's the most incredible thing. So you must try it. It's awesome. So now I give myself a little pat on the back, you know. Hey, Ursh, what we doing today? Let's go, girl. You know, like that type of vibe.
No.
And it's incredible for self-confidence. And look at me, Sam. I'm very pretty now.
You are very pretty. And I remember when I first met you, you talking to me about putting on makeup. Because, of course, it was something I took for granted. I didn't realize that I put on makeup with 2 hands. That you can't put eyeliner on. Well, I can't. I'm sure there are people, YouTubers, amazing YouTubers who can do everything with 1 hand, but I'm not that person.
No, I tried that, right?
Yes.
One-handed.
And
I poked my eye out probably like 1,000,000 times until I got sick and tired of poking my eye out. So I thought, no, I'm not doing eyeliner, but I can have a tattoo.
And you just love needles. So how did that go back down?
Oh, no, it was fantastic. Couldn't see for about 3 weeks. Couldn't see where my foot was going, so I felt like I was falling over, like permanently. Oh, no, it was hectic.
Was it worth it?
So much, look.
No, it's gorgeous. What do you do to make women feel beautiful? And I'll explain what I mean by that. Like you say, so many people walk past the mirror and they're only looking because they just want to check that their jersey is straight or that their hair's not out of place. They're not really looking at who they are. And it's like we get caught by the mistakes in the reflection, the flaws.
Sure.
And don't actually look at ourselves properly. And I think through a lens, you get to look at people in a second way. So you see them as they are, and then you take that vision and put it through your lens.
That is exactly. So I have a slogan, I know beautiful, and I will find yours. And I promise you, any woman that doesn't feel beautiful, I will change your mind through a session. I think I'm incredibly empowering. I love women. I think women are beautiful. I have not photographed an ugly woman, let me put it that way. I don't think there's such a thing. And every woman is beautifully unique in their own way. Eyes. Sam Cowan has got these beautiful cheekbones, this gorgeous smile, beautiful color eyes, and I see that in every woman. Does it make sense? And all I need to do is show them how they look to me, for them to see that they are, if that makes sense. So I'm like in the mirror, hey Ursh, let's get it on. What's happening today, girl? But I can also do that for women. And I like to compliment women. I'll be, oh my gosh, you look amazing. You look incredible. Bring your chin forward, you look stunning. By the time they walk out, they are feeling like $1 million, as they should.
What's been the most extreme reaction when somebody's got their shots after they've had photos from you? When they see what you've taken?
Besides bursting into tears, I get that. That's like the normal reaction. A scream. Oh my God, is this me? Oh my God, like, you know, like I felt like Oprah Winfrey in that moment, right? And but it is an emotional. It's an emotional experience.
What have people told you afterwards?
I can't believe that I am this beautiful. Thank you. Oh my God, I look amazing.
I think I said that. I think you're quoting me.
It could be you. Like, wow. I never saw myself like this. So it's a very, for me, it's very satisfying because the end result is that reaction, like, wow, is that really me? Because it is. It's not me behind there. That's not my photo, it's yours. And it's almost like it's like the penny drops, if that makes sense. Wow, I really am beautiful. And then I pass on the little mirror trick, right? So they also have to wake up in the morning and go, hey, chick, what's happening today? What are we going to do? Let's get it on. You know, like that type of vibe.
What's the best part of your life now? Because you've said that the stroke has helped you, but it's also held you back from doing some things.
Sure. My business.
Mm-hmm.
My business, my business, my business. I'm living for it. I am living in it. I am just, that's me. And my new nails.
If anyone's listening to this who is feeling just like you did after you woke up from the stroke and somebody said you can't do this anymore because this. Because I think I can't speak as a man, but I know for myself, there have been times where you catch sight of yourself in the mirror and maybe Mr. Gravity's been a bit unkind, or it's just not been a great day, or for whatever reason you're just feeling a bit low and sorry for yourself. And for me, my way of getting out of that is to get active, and especially with swimming, it's my hugest passion.
And you are very good at this.
I'm just very enthusiastic at this, but thank you very much. But what my high point is knowing I've always got that to go back to, that's where I feel, ironically, in a bathing suit, the most powerful, the most invincible, the happiest. So what is it for you?
Maybe my next client, or my next session, that is like, so it can be even like in a month's time or 2 weeks' time or whenever. I look forward to that session, like with all of my heart. Does it make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
And I look forward to spending time with people. I love spending time with people and just being part of their life for a day.
So
my daughter's a huge thing in my life.
So my teenager now?
13.
Me too.
It's fun, hey? The hormones are fun,
yes,
right?
It's fun. It's the best age. Love you, baby. Back to you. Tell
me too.
If anyone's watching this and thinking, this is what I was originally going to ask you, and then I got carried away with talking about, I just loved the fire inside and the passion about helping others. If someone's watching this and going, oh, it's easy for her because she already had the talent, or she's got great support in her life, or at least she's doing something she loves. Because we do tend to do that. It's go, oh, well, you know, it's different for them. What would you say to that woman who's maybe got a dream, or it could be huge, it could be tiny, but has checked herself out of it?
I would say to her, I promise you, if I can do all of this one-handed, there is nothing stopping you, and I urge you to go for it. Chase that dream and do it. Because if you can't dream, there is no life.
What's your next move physically? What's the next
Besides
step?
carrying on using this.
Well, when I met you, you couldn't do what you did just now.
I have started taking small little baby steps on my own without my walking stick and without holding on. So this is huge. So I've got a thing on my Facebook page now. I do like a weekly walking video.
Nice.
Different themes, you know. And it's quite funny. My ladies challenge me on my page. Like, next week we want to see pom-poms, right? I'm like, sure. Go try find pom-poms online. You know, so weekly.
Did.
Substitute, of course. So now I'm taking tiny baby steppies on my own. and I'm going to keep taking those baby steps. And then I'm going to take my beautiful walking stick, Fred, you know, steady Freddy, Fred, and I'm going to have to donate him because his purpose in my life must be finished. I just want to walk this year. Maybe next year I'll put dancing, you know, like a bit of ballroom dancing or something. But I do want to become more physically abled. I want to go dance again. I want to walk and hold a cup of coffee, imagine that. Instead of trying to balance my cup, you know, with my stick.
What do you tell your daughter? She saw you before you had the stroke. She saw you afterwards. There were times when she came to visit where somebody else had to be around because you were physically incapable of bathing her or cooking for her or anything at that time, and it's changed now. But what do you tell her?
Hugely so. She does not remember me before my strokes. So I think it was so traumatic, maybe she's just like shuts it off, and she only knows me as I am now. So for her, she can see my improvement, if that makes sense. So she's very encouraged by it. She always tells me I'm her superhero, and she always looks up to me, and I just try and be as strong as I can and do more things with her. And now we can chop onions one-handed with her, we can cook together, right? But I think my message to her is, my darling, you've got your whole life ahead of you, and you can do anything that you put your mind to. And the word can't does not exist.
Love it.
And she's, she's strong. Well, she's soft, but she's strong. Does that make sense?
Like
she's my tough little softie.
Just like mommy.
Just like me.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you,
did good.
Sam. Did I?
You did.
Ta-da!
Did she do good? She did amazing.
Aw.
Hot 91.9.
Playing the best old school and R&B.